I remember an occasion when a Jain monk walked up, travel weary. Must have been about 11 o'clock in the morning, and Krishnaji was just going in for his bath. And he said he had been walking for weeks to get there because he learned that Krishnaji was there. And said it was very urgent that he should see him. He looked a bit excited. And he said, I must see him. Well, I said, this is not the time when I can fix an interview with you. But I could do it later if you like. He said, no, you tell him I am very keen. At least for 5 minutes, let me see him. So I went and told Krishnaji, he was just getting ready for his bath, that there is a middle-aged Jain monk and he looks very earnest and seems to be under a stress. He is very keen to see you urgently, he says. So will you see him for 5 minutes, sir? And he said, all right, we'll see him, call him up. And they sat down just like that. And the Jain monk said that for over 14 years he had been pursuing this problem of going beyond thought. And it had he couldn't make any headway about it. And he said he had tried everything, all austerities and everything. And now he was at the end of his tether. And he had decided that if it does not work, he has been at this game for 14 years, and he was about 46 years old, he said. And he thought that if nothing was coming out of it, there was no point in going on living. And he had a sense of urgency that he must find a solution. And Krishnaji smiled and he said, you are trying to find an answer, aren't you, sir? You are trying to find a solution. He said, I would rather change this process and merely look at what you are trying to do with yourself. Look at what thought is trying to do to itself. So he said, the thought is trying to persuade itself and pressurize itself to stop its operations because it wants to get something out of it. And this is something which thought can't do. So you have just to grasp the single fact that what you have been trying to do for 14 years is something which thought has been trying to do, and there is just no way by which thought will ever be able to do it. Just see this, the finality of it, that it is not within the capability of thought to do what you want thought to do. Just see this. Do you see this, sir, what I am saying? The monk was impressed and he said, yes, I do. But he said, you are trying to ask thought to do it for you. Don't do that. That you just watch what thought is doing to itself. And perhaps if you do that and wait, and suddenly there was a change in the appearance of the monk. He closed his eyes and he was quite silent. And after about 4 minutes, he opened his eyes and his eyes were full of tears. And he touched Krishnaji's feet. And then he said that, sir, I have been wanting to get this for a long time and I have not been doing it. So thank you and I'll go. He said, no, don't be in such a hurry. Please sit down for 5 minutes. The monk sat down. He sat quietly, but suddenly he blurted out, sir, I have one more question to ask. He said, of course, I am waiting for that. And he said, well, that was all right. Really, thought was absolutely quiet without my doing anything about it. But how can it last? How can I get it again? And Krishnaji said, that is just the question that I knew you were going to ask me. He said, but who is it that asked the question? The mind that's silent is asking this question? Or the mind that was not able to get silent and worrying over it that is asking the question. It is again the old mind. You have gone back to the old mind, and that old mind is asking this question because it wants to possess what you got, it wants to hold on to it and continue it. All this is the normal function of thought. When you had moved out of that room and now you want the answer in this room, that is, you want the answer to be with thought. Do you see what you are doing? Do you see, sir, what thought is doing to you? Do you see what thought is doing to itself? And again the monk went silent. And this time he was silent for a while. And he opened eyes that were full of peace. And he touched Krishnaji's feet and said, sir, I will not come to you again.
There was a deep, widening intensity, an immanent clarity of that otherness with its impenetrable strength and purity. Love is not a common thing, but it was there in the hut with an oil lamp. It was with that old woman carrying something heavy on her head. It was everywhere, so common that you could pick it up under a dead leaf or in that jasmine by the old crumbling house. But everyone was occupied, busy, lost. It was there, filling your heart, your mind, and the sky. It remained and would never leave you. Only you would have to die to everything, without roots, without a tear. Then it would come to you, if you were lucky, and forever cease to run after it, begging, hoping, crying, indifferent to it, but without sorrow, thought left far behind. And it would be there on that dusty, dark road.
You can't seek it because there's nothing to seek, nothing to attain. When you give up this search and also concept of attainment or regain, and then it is already there and you will see that it was there. Few will know it because everybody wants to do something. And by doing something, it's not going to be the result of any doing. So keep quiet. What I speak is keep quiet.